right? So when I asked, I said, well, okay, what do you want? Well, yeah, I want freedom. That's kind of generic, right? I want freedom. I want to wake up. I want to hang out with the kids and have family and do stuff like that. But what's the short-term, absolute short-term goal? So give me like a 90-day goal that you want to achieve.
Pay off my visa.
Pay off your visa. That's good. What else?
Get out of debt.
Get out of debt. Short term, get out of debt. So what's that number?
27,000.
That's not bad. So that's one check, man. That's just one check. You was out of debt. Does that feel good?
Yeah.
So what happens if you got your $27,000 check? How would you feel?
He was right. They're liberated.
Liberated. Be out of debt. What else?
Not have to pump gas and then have to eat ramen for the next week.
Hey, ramen's good, dude, especially the chicken.
I mean, I'm sorry.
Chicken's really good. Shrimp? I don't like the shrimp ramen. I like the chicken ramen. Yeah, I know over that. Go ahead, ma'am.
I was just gonna say, make some more solid investments, so like rentals and different things,
Mm-hmm.
and maybe some other good things.
Right. So that's a little bit generic, right? So we want to go from general to specific, because our mind is like a servo mechanism. See, I used to be a Marine stationed down here in San Clemente, California, at Camp San Mateo, and in the Marine Corps, they have on their I think they're what they can't remember what their jets are called, whatever, but they have what's called a servo mechanism, which is a guided missile. And what you do is you give it a target, right? And then that missile, what it does, it goes for that specific target, and it iterates and changes, and then it will hit that target. Our brain's the exact same way. So a congruent behavior of a successful person, right, is they're absolutely crystal clear on exactly, specifically what they want. So I go, hey, what do you want in the short term? It has to be so crystal. Pay off $27,000 in debt. That's a great, crystal clear goal. What was the other one over here?
My visa. Yeah, my visa.
Yeah, pay off your visa. But that's got a number to it, right? Pay off that visa, right? It's probably a big number, right? Yeah, not that big. What's up?
I want to make a minimum of 4 deals.
You want to make a minimum of 4 deals in 90 days. Is that right? 4 deals in 90 days? Okay. Well, why don't you get one first?
Oh,
Because if you get one, then it's going to lead to 2,
Okay.
right? So, and then how much is that first deal?
27,000.
So 27. So you can. Are you guys married? Pay off his credit card. She can pay off your credit card, man. What's your name?
Natalie.
Natalia. Her name's Natalia. Yeah. Just introduced. Anyway, so the bottom line is that you got to be 1,000% crystal clear. So my question to you is, in 90 days, what specifically do you want? Think about it. 90 days. What do you want? I don't worry about freedom or I want to, the kids. It's that 90 days. Specifically, what do you want? Write it down. Specifically. Have to have it. Successful people are absolutely 1,000% crystal clear on exactly what they want. Servo mechanism. You have to know where you're going, right? We got to know where we're going. Guess what? Did you know the address here? Did you know the time you had to get here?
Yes.
Right? So what'd you do? You calculated, you got in your car, vehicle, you put in Google Maps, right? And you started driving. Some of you got lost. Where's that place again? Some of you didn't, but you had your map, you got back on, and you showed up here on time, didn't you? Same exact thing. But the thing is, we want to become successful. You say 90 days, where do I want? So now we got to put a date on it. We've got 90 days. So what's the date 90 days? 27,000, what's 90 days from now? I don't know. Put 90 days from now. October 18th. So before my event, right? So definitely put in the event that you're going to come to the event, because I definitely want you to come there. But I want you to come up to me at the event and say, bam! I paid off my $27,000. Bam! I paid off his $27,000, right? Bam, I paid off my credit card. I did it. So crystal clear, absolutely 100%. Now you got a date, put a date to it. Now, the next step, successful people, we're looking at success, this is what he has done in his career in the last 4 years. What it took me 15 years to do, he was able to do in about 2 years. Now, he's a rock star. He's definitely more talented than I am. I can tell you that. He's definitely better looking than I am.
Yeah, I agree with that one. Are you gonna ask me what I want in the next 90 days?
Sure.
1.5 million all selfies.
And he's talking to his team here. 1.5 million, boys! Right? Okay, there you
Sounding
go.
really quiet right now.
That's pretty good. Nice. Now, you couldn't comprehend that though when you first walked in the door and you're like, what's Google AdWords?
That's very true.
Right? Right? So 90 days. Specific, clear. Next thing, another congruent behavior is you gotta get obsessed. What does obsessed mean? Obsessed is you wake up before your 5 o'clock alarm. Obsessed is you can't wait to get up. You're so excited about what you're doing, you're obsessed about it. You can't, that's all you think about. You think it, dream it, eat it, smell it, taste it. I gotta pay that $27,000 off, man. I gotta pay that $27,000. I'm gonna pay that $27,000. I gotta pay that $27,000 off. Right? You gotta do it. Have to do it. Have to. See, successful people, there's people, well, I should do this, or I have to do this. Have to. So, let me ask you a question. What's your name, bud?
Larry,
Larry, what's up, Larry? Who's someone you care about?
my wife, Veronica.
Your wife, Veronica. Okay. So let's say your wife, Veronica, was kidnapped and at gunpoint and said you got 90 days to pay them $27,000. Right? $27,000. In 90 days, let's call it 30. 30 days, you're going to pay them $27,000 in 30 days.
Huh.
I hope you love your wife. Right? Does it go from, now, let's talk about excuses. Well, I was tired and I slept in. Well, you know, I couldn't find the time to it. Would you hang out on Facebook? Would you hang out on Instagram? What excuse would you have? Is she here?
No, she's here.
Okay, good. Just checking, man. I don't want to get you in trouble. Right?
He is sure. So.
If you got sports on TV, your favorite team's playing in whatever Hall of Fame game, whatever World Series, would you have to watch that, or would you call a seller? Now a seller, listen to this. Thank you. Appreciate it. Now a seller goes, well, you know, I want to think about it. What would you go? Okay, you think about it, and now your wife's in a chair with a gun to her head. Now, are you going to take that excuse? And you says, oh, I want to think about it. What are you going to say? Well, let me ask you a question. What would you think about? What's your think about? What should you think about? I give you an offer. You want to sell. I want to buy. What do you want to think about? Right? There's a different level of intensity, right? Because you have a why. You have a must. You have to do it, right? Right? Now you're getting sitting up on the edge of your chair, right? You got to save your wife, right?
Yeah.
Exactly. That's what we're doing. See, you're saving your life. This is your life. This is your time. You can't buy time. You can't come back. Right? So the bottom line is this, is that successful people get obsessed and they do what they must do. And they don't make excuses. They don't talk about excuses. They don't go, well, I tried to do it. I tried to cold call, but I just, you know, the seller told me they don't want me to call me anymore. What you talking about? Right? You just keep dialing. There's no excuse that could ever ever. Right? So the bottom line is now, so another way you get obsessed, first off, you put yourself in that state of mind. Second thing is you write it down specifically what you want. Specifically, you write it down, specifically what you want. And you read it every morning and you read it every night before you go to bed. You got any idle time, which you shouldn't have, you read it. Read it, read it, read it, read it. Just read it. Visualize it. Visualize yourself paying off that credit card. Visualize yourself getting that first $12,000 check and feeling it and how it's going to feel, and you can't wait to celebrate, right? Feeling it, right? Paying that off. Imagine what that's going to feel like. You're going to be like, bam! You know, Tiger Woods sinking that putt. Remember that? That was awesome. The bottom line is, you're going to crush it, right? Obsess about it. You got to think it, eat it, breathe it, taste it. Have to do it. Am I too intense for you guys?
No.
Am I too excited? Okay. So, now you're obsessed about it, think it, breathe it, eat it, feel it. You're 1000% focused. Now is what's called micro actions. Micro actions. I'll tell you about his, right? So you manage his day, right? Okay, so you manage his day, you manage his calendar, do all that stuff. So what happens is you have micro actions. You have more time in your day than you believe you do. Because you spend a lot of time, we spend a lot of time doing stupid stuff. So my schedule, I have scheduled out from 5 o'clock in the morning till 6 o'clock at night. Every 15 minutes on the 15 minutes. On Sunday, I schedule out, on Sunday, my entire week. What goes in my schedule first? My family. All the things. I got 2 beautiful daughters. One of them's a singer, the other one's in nursing, so I had to move her out of college, and I had to get her stuff and put it in storage and do this and that. My wife has this stuff I have to do and that I have to. All that goes to the schedule first because that's priorities, right? First. Next thing that goes in my schedule is my quiet time. I read the Bible. I pray. I got my quiet time in the morning that I do, right? And then I work out. That all goes in my schedule. So I got my family in there, I got my personal in there, I got my work in where work out, that all goes in my schedule. And guess what? People go, I don't have time because I'm going to be at work at 7 o'clock. Well, guess what? Get up early. Wake up a couple hours early. I go to bed at midnight, I wake up at 5. Who says you need 8 hours of sleep? Who said that? Who said that? They's wrong. And Days is broke. You don't need 8 hours of sleep. Who needs 8 hours of sleep? I know you love your pillow. So do I. Right? But listen, you don't need 8 hours of sleep. You don't need it. Right? I might be controversial and that's it. I don't care. Right? The bottom line is you can do it. Now, so all that goes in, and everything else that goes in the schedule is all the work stuff. Now, you might have a job. You have to put your job in there. And then you're going to have time, lunch and stuff like that, and commute in the morning and off. But you got weekends. I used to love doing deals on Saturday. I'd pack my schedule up. Sunday would be amazing. I go to church in the morning, get some stuff done, because I had to do it. Right? Life was on the line. I had a gun to my head. Had to make it work. Had to crush it. So the micro action, so first off you do that. That's how you manage your calendar. And you can squeeze more. It's creating time. Imagine creating time. Listen, if you woke up 2 hours earlier, let's do the math. You guys want to do the math?
Yes.
Okay. 2 hours earlier times, well, there's 365 days in the year. Let's say you weren't that good. Let's say it was just 300 days. That's 600 extra hours a year times 5 years is 3,000 hours divided by 24. You just captured or created an additional 125 days, almost a half a year of life because you woke up 2 hours early. I don't have time. Really? I just gave you half a year. 2 hours. 2 hours. Flip to Freedom, the Flip to Freedom podcast and the Flip to Freedom and all that, but that's my brand, Flip to Freedom. I built that from 10 o'clock in the morning to 10 o'clock at night to 2 o'clock in the morning. As I was doing wholesale deals and doing deals and cranking and hiring people and doing stuff, I go home, hang out with my family, make dinner, do all the stuff, the whatever. Got approval from the wife, okay, great, okay, good. 10 o'clock in the morning, 2 o'clock at night. Bam, guess what? Instead of getting 5 hours of sleep, I get 3 or 4 hours of sleep. Wake up, bam, you at it again. See, if you're passionate, you know specifically what you want. You're massively obsessed, right? You need less sleep. See what I'm saying? How many people hit the snooze button? Guilty! You're not obsessed! Get obsessed! You won't hit the snooze button. I promise you that. Am I offending anybody? Well, I don't care anyways. But I do. I love you guys. Right? The bottom line is this, is that get it done. Now, micro actions. So what are some micro actions that you can take that's going to make you money? What are some specific micro actions? Yes.
Go directly to the door, talk to sellers, call them, email them, text them, Facebook them, whatever you need to do.
Show up at their work.
Whatever.
Hey man, I know you want to sell. I'm right here. Knock on their grandmother's door, right?
Whatever it takes.
Whatever it takes. So the bottom line is, the most productive thing we can do, and I just did an Instagram Live about this the other day, but the most productive thing you can do is be in front of the right people all the time, right? So who's the right people? Well, there's 5 distressed lists that we can target. One is pre-foreclosure. These are people that are about to lose their house to foreclosure. We, as real estate wholesalers, can provide them a service to help them solve their problem. Now, I just did an interview with Scott, right? And a podcast, we had an interview with him. I asked him, and they're doing, what's your guys' average spreads? What, 70-something thousand, right? Monster spreads, amazing, very successful. They're gonna do $1.5 million in revenue in a quarter, $1 million last quarter. And my question to him is, how do you get these monster spreads? What are you doing to do it? Because we're not doing that in Phoenix, right? So these guys have the magic touch, along with Scott, right? So the bottom line is, I asked him, I said, what's your secret to making that happen? Now, do you think it was some ninja negotiating technique? Do you think it was like just presenting of the numbers and no? Do you know what it was? Rapport. Rapport. Do you guys know what rapport is? Right. Rapport is building rapport, getting someone to like and trust you to do business with you other than anybody else. Right? So your separator from all your competition is your trust that you can work with a seller, trust and respect with. So now you have, and our job as real estate wholesalers is to help someone out of a situation and their people, right, is to turn around. Now we can work with them and we can build a high level of rapport with them, really get to know them and really sincerely want to help them out of their situation. And then we can turn around and we can help them solve their problem, whatever that might be, right? So now we've got pre-foreclosures, we've got property tax default, right? There's property tax default, there's inherited properties, there's probate properties, and there's high equity vacant properties. So those are the 5 essentially, and there's some more like code violations, a little bit harder to get, but those are like 5 distressed lists that you can target. You're brand new, you're getting started, you want to get your first deal, you focus on distress. Then there's non-distress. Non-distress is absentee owner, right? We're hoping to find distress. And there's owner-occupant. We're hoping to find distress. See, if we're going to be fishing and we're looking to catch the most fish, and we had one pool or lake that we're fishing in, and there's all the fish are distressed, guess what? Every fish that catches our line is distressed. If we go over here, we fish, some are distressed and some aren't distressed, right? So owner occupants, non-owner occupieds. Now, what we're going to do with this is we are going to, one, send them a mail piece. You can send them a postcard, like a Street View postcard, or you can handwrite a letter. You can do it. When I first started, I started knocking on pre-foreclosure doors. This is before I understood mail, right? Then also I hand wrote letters for my kitchen table, 25 a day. Hand wrote, that's what I could do, right? So you can send them a postcard, or you can send them that, right? And the next thing you can do is skip trace a list. What's your skip trace company?
SkipTraceList.com.
Skip trace list. Is it S or lists?
With an S.
Skip trace list. So take your list that you get. You can get it from list source. You can get it from other different services, and then you can bring it to Skip Trace List, and you can put it in there. And what happens is it will give you cell phone number, landline number, and email address of the seller. See, this is like when I first started, we didn't have this. We didn't have that. I got a list, and I hand wrote letters, and I drove to their house, just like you're talking about, and I knocked on the door. That's all I had. So these micro actions, we can turn around, and do you have to do them? Do you have to do them, in a single day? No. You can plan the micro action in your schedule. So take your schedule, plan your micro action, and say, I'm going to write 25 letters a day. I'm going to send out 100 postcards today. I'm going to cold call a sellers, right? And I'm going to cold call. I'm going to pick up the phone. And I'm going to call them. So in this type of situation, when you skip trace the list, you get cell phone numbers, you get landline numbers, and you get email address. So what's going to happen is you can schedule time in your calendar during the week, send out the mail, and guess what? Do you need to have some special phone system to track? No, you don't have to, right? You can if you want, but guess what? Send it to your cell phone. I got to pay off $27,000 of credit card debt. Yeah, let's do it. Oops, sorry. Get too excited, man. You better watch out. That's why you got the table to kind of separate. Anyways, bottom line is, we got to pay $27,000 credit card debt. We don't got time to set up a phone system. Call the cell phone. And when it actually rings, what do? Pick it up. Do you realize half the people send out marketing and they don't even pick up the phone? How do I know? Because I call them all. They don't pick up the phone. Pick up the phone and answer it. People are sending them the voicemail. Don't send them voicemail. By the time someone else picks up the voicemail, try to play phone tag back and forth, I already got it booked. I'm at the house. I'm making them an offer. I got the contract. I got it sold. And I got 50 grand in the bank when they're trying to go, hi, you just started checking. There's your voicemail. Pick up the phone. See what I'm saying? Pick up the phone. Goes to your cell phone. You don't need to have all the systems set up. They call in. What do you say? Hi. Say hi. You talk to them. Right? How do you get a date? What do you say?
Hey, how you doing?
Hey. How you doing? Right? Well, man over here in the suit, right? What do? You say hi. You talk to him. Right? You build a relationship. What did he say? What's the most important thing?
Build a rapport.
Rapport is the most important thing. So treat them like a person. You don't need a script. He was like, well, I gotta have a script. I have to know specifically exactly what to say so I can say that, hi, Mr. Seller, what do you owe on your mortgage? You're not gonna do that to go get a date, are you? Hi, you're beautiful. You have pretty eyes. Next. Right? You're not gonna do that. People, how do you find a wife? Right? How do you find a husband? You don't need a script. You know what I'm saying? I don't know how we got off on that bit. It's not dating advice 101, please. I've been married for 23 years, I get it. Anyway, so the bottom line is this. Where was I going? You got to talk to sellers, right? When you send out the mail, pick up the phone and answer the phone. The next thing you know, schedule the time in your calendar, put it in the calendar. If it's not in the calendar, it's not going to happen. What you're going to do is you're going to say, I want to do this, and it's not going to happen because it's not in your calendar. If you schedule it and you commit to it, then you'll do it. You put it in your calendar. I'm going to cold call today for an hour. Cold call for an hour. Cold call for an hour. And guess what? Don't get your notepad all set up, and I'm going to get my water. I'm going to get my water. I'm going to get my phone. I got to get my notepad set up. Okay, I got to stretch. I got to go to the bathroom real quick. I got to get my chair all set up, and I got to make sure everybody leaves me alone, okay? Now I've got 30 minutes left to cold call. Really? No. You're on a relentless pursuit. A relentless pursuit. Sit down, pick up the phone, and call. People go, well, I have to get my ducks in a row. Shoot the ducks.